Are you an E or a C?
Both have ridgeback.
These are loaded with tech.
Which one are you gaming? Definitely E for me.
It's just so forgiving.
I'm definitely an E.
C is for Cheka. What else?
C is for kill it.
C is me. Low spinning bombs.
So, are you an E or a C?
I don't know. Hey, wait a minute.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
And welcome back to Big's Golf Talk, BGT 2.0 and BGT TV. I am Big John Quick. He is the golf father. Bill Cuevas. She is the golf diva. Amanda Sensor. And this segment is sponsored by Tour Edge Golf. Pound for pound,
nothing comes close.
Golf's most solid investment. Check them out at touredge.com. And Bill, the golf father quiz, man, they have been having some whacked out deals going on at touredge.com.
Oh yeah. They're doing, and like, can you imagine? Even at regular price, they're great. And now with all the extra deals and the added savings, it's insane.
What's happening?
And we also can't forget that, they have a lifetime warranty policy and stuff like that. So you can't go wrong.
Yeah. No, that's great.
Yep.
Go get it while the deals are good.
You're a genius, so terrible, master. There's no end to your evil.
I think Biggs found a new toy while we were doing the Amanda segment.
So I have to make one announcement that I've left off my segment when we were talking about golf. So shot of the week while playing in Las Vegas did not come from yours truly.
Okay.
Came from Mr. Craig Sensor.
Uh-huh.
He shoved, he had a really terrible lie on 9 and he hit about 70-yard shot and stuck it to 2 feet to make birdie. And he beat me on that hole.
Okay.
So I had to make that announcement.
There you go.
There you go.
Very important.
Absolutely. All right. Obviously, we have to talk about, we've been off the air for quite some time, but we have to talk about this news, and we're going right back to Liv. Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
How about this? Plans to hand Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods their own Live Golf franchises have been revealed as a part of the initial discussions in the merger between the PGA and DP World Tours and the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund. In surreal scenes at the U.S. Senate hearing in Capitol Hill, that featured representatives of 9/11 victim groups sat behind the PGA Tour executive. It also emerged that the PGA Tour asked for Greg Norman to be sacked as Live Golf chief executive. Live chief wanted Woods and McIlroy to play in at least 10 events, despite their public opposition to the Rebel Tour. Proposals were made to grant membership to the Augusta National and the Royal and Ancient to Yasir Yal Rahman, the Live and Newcastle United chairman, who is governor of the Public Investment Fund. There's a lot more news, and even as far as Rory McIlroy publicly stating he will retire before playing in any Live events. Tiger Woods have yet to release a statement in regards to his franchise on the
Rory. Like, whatever. To each his own. But I don't know. I guess I just don't understand why I understand why he would feel very betrayed by the PGA Tour. But what does that have to do with him moving forward, making a better deal for himself and playing for Live? Then he needs to be mad at PGA Tour, and he needs to not.
He is.
PGA Tour.
Oh, he is.
He is.
No, I know
that's why he'll retire.
So he's just done.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of people that that feel that way. and the ones that did turn down the money, that didn't want it and they turned it down. Now you have the guys that did keep the money and they're still allowed in the PGA. So the twist, I think there's going to be a lot of animosity. You still see it going on.
You were doing what you thought was right and it bit you. But that goes to show you, like, they don't care. They don't care that your future was dictated.
But I'll play devil's advocate if you allow me to. Tiger Woods and Rory just came out with their own inside golf game, and they're selling franchises and stuff like that for this. And it's also, they signed on PGA members as teams. So is it counterproductive to go do it with Liv when you have your own business that you and Tiger are doing? Or do you try and push yours and leave theirs alone? Does he really need the money? He doesn't really need the money.
Tiger for sure.
But see, I don't think this is something that they're even Rory or Tiger was even maybe aware of until this now has come in front of the Congress or the Senate rather in the hearings that this has been revealed. I mean, that's a first sentence. It's been revealed that Rory and Tiger will be offered franchises and expect to play in 10 events. Here's the deal. Tiger probably has handled this the best out of anyone.
Yeah.
As far as when it comes to Liv. He hasn't denounced Liv. He just says changes need to be made if they want to be successful.
Yeah, but he has not dogged Liv. He has not talked about anything. And he really hasn't shared a whole lot of personal feeling other than, like you said, that, like, hey, it's going to take some time.
Yeah. And he said if certain changes were made, then maybe the PGA Tour and Liv can coexist.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those changes seem to be, number one, getting rid of Greg Norman. That's the number one thing. And
that's the big thing. That's the big thing that you hear is getting rid of him. I guess not too many people like him, and they figure if they're going to have to work for the enemy, they're not going to work for Greg. So it's kind of funny how that goes. You create something, and then they kick you out.
Yeah,
because they don't need you.
I really believe that happens so much more than people even realize in corporate America. I've heard horror stories about
people starting up companies
or coming aboard.
You have a board
and finding a way to get you out, and you're the one that literally started the company. So it is a real thing, and there's a term for it in the corporate world, but moving that original human out.
Yeah, it has to be crazy. I don't get it. I'm not going to pretend that I understand what they're doing. No, I understand, for both sides, people want to make money and stuff like that. Dottie Pepper on the LPGA side, she just recently, a couple of days ago, wrote a nice letter and posted on social media of her concern with what Liv is trying now to do with the LPGA. And she talked about the history, about the women that created the LPGA and everything like that. And that's what we heard about the PGA. But ultimately, women want to make money. They've been underpaid for a long time. And, over the last couple of years, it has gotten better. So when you say, oh, wow, we got an extra $1 million in the pot, but $1 million in a pot still doesn't equate to what the PGA players are getting.
Yeah, I'm going to say this. Okay, we have seen first place prize purses jump from 1.2 million to 3 point something million. Okay, so that 1 million that has taken 15 years to get into the pot of the LPGA, too long.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. And I think a lot of the younger players, while there's a lot of history and stuff, we're forgetting history in our country. People want to forget.
We are destroying history. No, it's just not that.
Yeah,
we are
it's not there.
Destroying history.
Yeah, they're not teaching the kids.
Good or bad, we are just destroying it all together. Let's just wipe it from memory. Let's just wipe it from
like stuff never happened.
Right.
And
instead of educating our future about it and
to avoid those mistakes.
Yes, improving on that history.
Yeah, absolutely. And
let's just pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah. So I think what from Dottie's perspective is like it's going to tarnish it, and I could understand that because we want to keep golf. You know what I mean?
I love Dottie to death, but
she is.
I'm just going to put this out there too. These ladies need to make more money. If it doesn't happen now, and Liv offers something that's going to quadruple what they're going to get,
possibly more.
We have said it in the past that the last player on the list of the PGA Tour gets paid a lot more money than the 10th player on the leaderboard of LPGA.
And I agree. And I think because we talk about, we've said this before, I'm not a huge feminist. I believe that you work for what you bring in, but I do see a problem with golf, and people always ask me, but I've made comments about like women's soccer players versus the men's and and they're like, but how does your opinion differ from golf? But the reason golf I feel is different, granted, we've got to get the ratings up, but you can't, we are limited at getting ratings up because we're not allowed to use being female to get the ratings up. We should have the highest ratings. I've said this numerous times, but for like the women's soccer, I've talked about this actually a lot with my husband, like the amount of games that the men play versus the amount of games the women play are not even close. So how can you pay female soccer players the same amount when the guys are playing double, almost triple the schedule? Sure. But when it comes to golf, it's pretty even across the board. The women are playing just as much. They're playing just as many. But we've got to change. And I say this, history is there, but you have to get some new life into the tour. You have 85-year-old women sitting on a board telling us that our skirts have to be below our knees. And it's you got to get that out of there. And when that wave gets out of there, we can start wearing the Viore skirts. We can start wearing a Lulu and not being chastised for it. So
and you shouldn't, but you have the ones, unfortunately, that how do you say it? That they're not on tour and they're not doing what you guys do, and they sexualize it.
Yeah,
they're out there in these bra tops and these super tight things.
Oh yeah, all the influencers.
Oh, look at the
all
fun
these influencers are at Top Golf and they're in heels and
yeah,
so a golf ball and barely anything. I mean, and then they're like pointing their butts to the camera and giving a little shake.
It's really hard because then you flip on the women's golf tour and you don't see that, and everybody's like, So it is different. It's different all the way around. And I don't know if just branding is the issue here, but funding comes with ratings and branding and all of that. And that's just not there for the women's tour. It just isn't.
Not yet, but hopefully it will be.
Hopefully.
They've come a long way in the last couple of years. Yep. And I'm hoping that they continue to grow and do all the other stuff that they're doing.
I'm sorry. The biggest loss for the LPGA was Michael Wan.
Huge. Yeah. Well, they lost everybody. They even lost the guy after him. Once Michael Wan left, and then the guy that was under him, he ended up leaving, and then he ended up taking a bunch of really, really solid people with him. They're still sort of kind of in the industry, but not. Yeah. So they've gone a different route. And they're still using golf as to propel what they're doing on the other side. But it was a shame to watch all the people that were building and struggling to build, and then all of a sudden leave. Because while they thought their job was done, I don't believe that it was quite done.
Do we also find that the longevity, and not trying to sound sexist, but the longevity of men golfing versus women 100%. Golfing is a lot longer.
100%.
Because we see like people like, here's the thing. Here's the deal. Bottom line is men cannot have babies.
Exactly.
Okay. You have
That's debatable in today's world.
Right, exactly.
Anyway.
Yes, no, we got
however, on the female side, you have those young ladies that are starting to grow. I mean, Lydia Cole is starting to get to that age. Okay, if I'm going to have a family, I'm going to have a family now.
Yeah.
Or my clock is ticking. That means I need to step away and become that mother.
And you see a few that return.
Right.
But it is few and far between that actually come back after.
What I'm saying, I guess the retirement age for female LPGA players is a lot younger than it is men.
Oh, men.
I believe so, yeah.
It could be different.
I mean, unless they come back and they're like an Annika Sorstein, that they're legends and they'll be around forever, and they make notice from doing tournaments and doing all the stuff that they do.
Yeah.
And still had a family, but she has that longevity where she's been in it for a long time.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. It's going to take a lot more than her. I mean, it's going to take the Lexi Thompsons, the Lydia Coles, even if they step off the thing and then want to become family, but still need their right here. This on the TV promoting golf.
Yeah. It's just hard. It is different because the guys definitely yes, they might step away when their wife is, but they're not like sacrificing or compromising. They're practicing and they could take a year off, but they're not taking a year off from golf. They're taking, if you said, I'm going to go be with my family for a year, they're still playing every day and practicing. So it is a different mindset.
Because it's still in their mind that they're going to come back at some point.
I think, and I mean, I haven't been in this position, but I think there's also some guilt associated, like women by nature, always, we tend to fall on we feel guilty about things a lot. That just is a female tendency. But I think there's some guilt of now that I have a family, I can't leave my family to go take care of myself.
My kid's sick. How many guys get to stay home and not have the woman?
It's not to knock it. It's just kind of the way it works, and that's
history.
It's history and society.
It's evolution, and just
that's why they call it motherly instincts. Motherlies are the ones that do it.
That is our job, and I mean, we have that, and not that dads can't be amazing stay-at-home dads and take care, but I think that there's a big part of the workforce that it is difficult to want to separate. I think guys can separate it a little bit more of I'm going to go to work and I'll come back to my family.
So we have a couple of minutes. We're talking about the issues. What's the solution, Amanda?
Well, there's a couple things going on here. I think for women, and like I said, it goes back to who you have on that board and how they want to promote it. And I think it's going to take a little younger generation than what's in there right now to really come up with some creative ideas. I'm not saying over sexualize it, but I think there's a way to find a happy medium where, we are women and we are beautiful and we are fun to watch and our tempos are great. And, but I think it's okay to say that we're beautiful. And I think it's okay to play on that in a way that isn't the influencer of my butt is out on camera. And,
and I think that's always been the hindrance because
can I also just take something away from a movie that really they found that happy medium, they sexualized, but also had skill. And this was a true league, by the way. So from the movie, A League of Their Own, they did a really good job with taking women and they ball players. Yeah, they had the skirts and all that stuff. Can Bill the Godfather Quavers, can the LPGA learn from the Professional Women's Baseball League?
You would think that after all this time, the Women's Baseball League with 3 years, 4 years, we got the LPGA going on.
It's still around, by the way.
Yeah. But what I'm thinking is this thing right now, I don't know. I love watching. I prefer the LPGA over the PGA because on the PGA, you're going to get who they want to show, and that's who. And if Tiger plays, you're going to see Tiger for the next 3 hours. With the LPGA, you're going to see everybody. You're going to see the field. You're going to see the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything else. So and that's what I want to watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I want to see the whole picture. Will it? I don't care if they're wearing skirts, pants, polos. I don't care what they're wearing, as long as they're golfing. They're golfers.
I will tell you
Good
this.
job.
And by the way, we want to let you know that Big's Golf Talk, the whole crew, will be in French Lick, Indiana from August 1st through August 6th, covering the Epson Tour, the road to the LPGA. And I will tell you firsthand, I was there last year, and I must have talked to 20, 30 ladies that were golfing in that thing. You want to talk about one-on-one and being so close to the fans. I mean, they had no idea I was media. I did have a media badge on, we did and stuff like that. We had an opportunity. What was that lady that we interviewed? What, from Argentina?
Argentina. And she was in the lead, and all the girls were trying to go to Ireland. So talk about that pressure. They're trying to finish one tournament and hop on a plane to head to Ireland for Ireland Open or Irish Open, whatever it was. So it was
she
crazy.
was trying to find a midnight plane, either in Indianapolis, Chicago, but
they didn't care where they had to drive to get out.
Yeah, anywhere they had to get to. But let me tell you something: the LPGA is really a league that you, as a fan, if you enjoy golf, support everyone, support the women, support the men. But the only way that we could see this grow, I mean, I know Dottie's all down and saying, no to live and all that stuff, and tradition and history. But the bottom line is, if Liv is going to say, I'm going to pay you $3 million,
whether you win or not.
If you were in a top 10 spot on the LPGA every single week, and you were offered $3 million to go, be on a franchise on Live, you can't tell me you wouldn't take that.
No.
I sign me up. I need $3 million.
Yeah. Where do I sign? No, and I think it also changes like your psychological pressure of, okay, now I have the money and now I get to go play. Yeah. Rather than I'm playing for the money.
Right.
I think
it's a different mindset for sure. Definitely a different mindset. If somebody said, okay, Amanda, you're guaranteed $5 million no matter what you do, you just have to play in 10 events. Oh, okay. I could do that.
And I guarantee you play better.
Absolutely.
Because you're out there just not caring. Like you don't put so much
you
stress.
could give more energy to it.
Yes.
Absolutely. You want to.
Yeah. So
you take the monotonous out of it. Yeah, definitely.
I'm excited to see what happens for sure over the next month, how things kind of roll out.
Yeah. If your body could take less tone, less swings, on a golf ball, then
do it.
Absolutely. All right. This segment is pretty much over. We're going to head over to the 10th tee now. We are putting on a number 9. Amanda, we'll see you next time. And
adios,
we'll be on the 10th tee right after we stop at the halfway house. Can we take that golf cart through the drive-through?
Yes. Go through the drive-through.
Drive-through.
All right. More coming your way right after this.